The streets of Belgium's capital were transformed in the wake of 3 bomb blasts on Tuesday. Brussels airport and a busy subway station were hit. Over 33 people died in the bombings, and hundreds more were injured in the deadly attacks. News 24 Live spoke to a reporter in Brussels. Christopher Spillane worked in South Africa for 3 years and now writes for newspaper Politico.
I saw a gentleman with a large head injury on his face, and that was considered relatively minor on that day, which it struck me as quite a severe injury. But obviously I'm not a medical expert, but that's what they were saying.
Christopher Spillane worked in South Africa for 3 years. He now writes for newspaper Politico, based in Brussels, and was in fact meters from the second attack on the subway station.
The blast site, which happened in the city, is about 200 meters away.
And do you have colleagues who take the underground?
Most of us take the metro, or at least use the metro on a daily basis for work.
And do you have access today? Have they cordoned things off?
So this morning, I take the tram and then I get the metro, and I got the tram to a stop called Louise, expecting to walk down to the metro as part of my usual routine. Police tape everywhere, shutters down, so I had to walk from Louise to Arthur Loire, which is where our offices are. Yeah, it's not a terrible commute, but it's still shut down at the moment.
Okay, so there's still an atmosphere of a city that's kind of coming to terms with the shock of what happened, and also, I suppose, looking for suspects or trying to mitigate after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a city on lockdown. I mean, there has been a lockdown in Brussels before. I actually wasn't here for that. I mean, shops are still open, bars are still open. People are still eating food and going shopping. But yeah, the metro might be open now, but this morning it was certainly off.
2 suspects have been arrested. A third is still on the run. Their residence was raided after the bombings. On Wednesday, Interpol released an image of the third man.
That said, they've been trying to find the guy they arrested on Friday for 4 months, which in Belgium, Brussels is a very small city. It struck me as unusual it would take so long to find one person in a pretty small area.
Spillane says he visited a hospital in Brussels following the attacks.
Chief doctor I spoke to, he was telling me that most of the injuries were relatively minor, and there were no life-threatening injuries. There were no people expected to die at their hospital. But on the flip side, he said the emergency service workers who had gone to the affected sites were in shock and were quite traumatized by the incident. Have to undergo something called psychotherapy, which I understand is maybe psychological, testing and talking therapy, I guess.
For more on this story, go to news24.com.